punk rock. It was a music genre that created in mid-70s. The punk was not just about the music, it was also a youth movement that was extremely popular in 70s. And even it was extremely popular, but to those who don't listen to punk music like me, it's really difficult to understand the punk world. Seems like there is a gap between the punk and the normal society. But I think that shows the uniqueness among the punk rock. So, what is punk? The punk is very difficult to define. It was easy to play with compared to other music. It was built up with the triad chords. It was one of the most simple chords to play with. So even a person who just start playing music, he or she um, could learn punk very fast. Other than that, the punk was gave the impression that punk gave to people was rebellious. Before I start doing any research about punk, my first impression about punk was it was the most aggressive, rebellious music, and the punk was popular in 70s. In 60s, the proto-punk, or also known as garage rock, was major form of rock in 60s. But this garage punk wasn't come from nowhere, and there was a rock movement in early 60s that's called the British Invasion. Basically, this was the movement that spreading the rock culture in United States from Great Britain. There was one significant band that make this British invasion happen. That was the Beatles. In 60s, the Beatles were rock heroes. They were the most famous band in the Europe. So many manager of bands, rock bands, saw how successful Beatles are, so they take their bands to United States or somewhere else to start their dreams. But unfortunately, there were only few of the bands succeed, such as the Yardbirds, the Kinks, and the Who. And punk was formed and